Give it the. All right. What's happening? What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Word on the Ave. Here on the Friday night. I got my folks here with me. You already know who I am. Corey Gilmore, Randy Anderson in the building. Lauren Jones. Want to
Greetings.
say anything to the people?
Greetings.
What's good from your ignorant, eclectic, mad genius, man? What's good, everybody?
Yeah. All right. So let's dive right into it. So I think I already see from the title of the video what the main topic will be, but you see a little bit added to it. So it's about we're gonna talk about the main topic is gonna be, of course, the slang. I think we can. I feel comfortable saying slang and murder now of Ahmaud Arbery. Young was about 25-year-old man over there in what was that, Brunswick, Georgia, going out for a jog, and he goes out for a jog, and he guess encounters some guys, white guys, that is. It's a black man, just to put it in context, and I guess there have been some robberies, some burglaries around in the neighborhood or whatever. They say they allegedly spotted him looking into a
Abandoned house.
abandoned house, or a house that was in construction, which a lot of people do.
Now, I just want to put this out there. If you're looking for real estate, people do that. Like agents do that during real estate. Like people who have a license for that, if they can't get in the house, they'll walk around the house and peek in the windows to see what the inside is like. But
Right.
that's another. My bad. I just wanted to get that out there.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean I'm good now. I just wanted to make sure I said that because a lot of people have been trying to be like, oh no license real estate agent would do that. Yes, they do. A lot of them do. Before they make pitches on houses, they'll inspect the house first. If they can't get in, they'll go around and look in windows. I've seen it happen multiple occasions. I know real estate agents. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, most definitely. So it's nothing out the ordinary. He goes, he continues his jog. This is, from everything that was told in the story, from the information that we have, he continues his jog or whatnot, and I guess he gets confronted by these guys, these white guys, who live in the neighborhood. A son, Gregory and Travis. What is their McMichael? Gregory and Travis McMichael. Roughly 160, about 60 something years old. The other 30 something. Father and son combination. They spot him. From what's said in the report and what's been reported is they confronted him once already. And he ran off.
That's the first report?
Huh?
That was the first report?
The first time, yeah. Okay. The first time that they saw him, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, because it was multiple reports, so I just wanted to make sure that was the first report.
Yeah. It said he ran off. Then what we got, they said they went to, I guess, spot him and try to corner him, I guess, and try to cut him off on whatever street he was headed down. And that's where the video that leaked out, because the video wasn't released or anything. It wasn't released. It was actually leaked out from this guy that was trailing him. We'll get more on him later, but this is when the video kicked in, and we see Arbery running down the street, and the men in the truck cutting them off at the corner. Arbery attempts to run around the truck, and then it gets it's hard to tell how they meet or whatnot, but of course I think we can all make out that they were cutting them off, and the older guy, the father, uh, jumped jumped in his path. They both had, the father and the son both had weapons. Arbery tried to fight them off, and and wasn't successful. Wasn't successful. Of course, they had weapons or whatnot. Uh, yeah, he was ultimately killed. So yeah, so it's made national attention. Made national attention. Everybody's spoken out about it, as they should have. And they were just arrested. They were just arrested today and booked in. Um, this is we've seen this over and over again. Seen this over and over again. We'll get into some of the details, but what do y'all think about what y'all saw, man?
Lauren, go ahead.
I mean, the visual obviously, makes you feel some type of way. If you know, for those that have watched the visual, of course, the visual will make you feel some type of way because, you literally see a guy running, get cut off, and then, a tussle ensues and, you hear gunshots, so I think we all know in most cases where that's going to lead. You know, I, I hear and I understand the outrage. I do. I do. Because this was another senseless killing. Like, this was just another senseless killing, like many that have happened before this, you know. But I want to believe that we are smarter than we're acting right now, as far as not demanding justice, but how we demand the justice. I mean, this is, wearing t-shirts, it's great. You know what I'm saying? Going for a job, that's great. I applaud everybody's use of symbolism to try to honor him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what's going to push the needle. That's not what's going to push the needle for change. I know Corey and I, we had a conversation about this a couple of days ago, and I said, man, if the story is true as it's outlined, which is he was confronted prior to this particular incident, why go back unprotected? And unprotected could be running with a partner, you know what I'm saying, making sure you have, protection on you just in case.
I think it was all in all in that instance. I don't think I think they cornered him off of whatever street that he turned off to. So I think it was past that point. He was in the fire at that moment.
So he was already in the fire.
Yeah, he was already in the fire. Okay, this and one other detail I forgot to address. Y'all pretty sure y'all already know this happened all the way back in February 23rd, which is why everybody's doing the 223 mile jog, and it took 3 months for it to get off. There was actually a DA or prosecutor or whatever. I forget which one. They were on the case, and they actually found him to be DAs. They were able to found him to be didn't charge him with anything because it said it was self-defense. Said it was self-defense and all under the citizens arrest rights. So,
which came back later, but
yeah.
But yeah, my bad. Yeah, continue. My bad.
Well, then I think it was two DAs or that.
I think it was two. Yeah, two of them
dropped the case. But I will say this, clarity. They should have dropped the case. They really should have dropped the case because they had affiliations with
the person.
Not the victim, but the perpetrator.
The perpetrator.
They had affiliations, so they rightfully dropped it. It's like they should have dropped the case, because they were jaded, and so
conflict of
yeah,
interest.
Mm-hmm.
conflict of interest. They were
Yeah,
absolutely jaded. So they were right to have dropped the case. I think the question then therein lies: how did it truly get lost in the shuffle? You know what
right,
I'm
right.
saying? And one of the things I was saying to my wife, we talked about it briefly yesterday, because oddly enough, I'd never heard about this. She had actually heard about it when it initially happened, somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but what was interesting is I said, in today's society where social media will make anything catch wings if you do it the right way, where would did the I'm sure I missed it, but I didn't hear any of the family speak out,
The
or
mother,
there's no known knowledge.
the mother did a video. I didn't I haven't had a chance to view it, but the mother did speak out. I didn't hear what
She
words
did a
she said.
video.
Yeah, she did a video. The mother
And see,
spoke out.
that's interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you would think something like that would catch somebody's attention and it would make news in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Not 3 months later. You
yeah,
know, well, that part is super interesting to me. Not to say that it doesn't ever happen, because trust me, it does. Some people get murdered and you never hear
yeah.
about it.
Oh,
you know,
you see everything we post. I mean,
uh-huh.
it's been of course there's numerous black people that definitely get it, but even on white folks different races, but of course there's gonna be when America America catches a cold, black people get the flu. So we've been posting a lot of that stuff. It's just that
Hmm.
stuff doesn't get it gets if it
Tossed
doesn't
by the
get
wayside.
filtered, if it doesn't get filtered to everybody, you know what I'm saying, through ever Facebook or whatever social media site, or
Hmm.
you don't have an outrage or you don't have a strong outrage in the media,
Yeah.
then people are moving because the media said it's outrageous. You know what I'm saying? Got
Yeah.
Joe Biden, LeBron James, and everybody when they start commenting, then that's when everybody else jumps up. But if it's just us, you know what I'm saying, just us and our peers, not just saying us, but just anybody else, our peers or whatnot, we saying that it's just gonna like just gonna be like a little flicker of anger, and
Hmm.
then goes from there.
Hmm.
So that says something about you always got to question the timing of when these things come out. You know, you keep going. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean that's all I have. I mean, like I said, it's super sad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want anybody to lose their life in such a senseless way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But like I said, the outcry is just so typical.
yeah,
I mean, it's just so typical. We did this when Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, like we've already done this.
yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying that we should find a way to honor people, but that's just not what's gonna move the needle.
Yeah, when we start making change, but we're being tricked into not making change. We're being tricked. You got some? I'll get into that. You got something, Randy?
No, I mean, I truthfully don't have anything. I want to hear what you got to say because
We're being tricked. We are being tricked into not making change. First of all, I want to attack this notion because I was talking about this today. Of course, you already know it's just so much emotion. Everything's emotional. It's not not moving with a pragmatic response. That's why I like something that I saw today. A brother, he said he's going to take a jog and he gonna have his assault rifle with him. I love it. Everybody need to get armed. We've been so talking about. That's why we're trying to get people armed and trying to get people to stick to those Second Amendment rights. You know what I'm saying? Not even, like I said, that's just the bar. But fuck the Second Amendment. We talking about protecting yourselves, especially in a fucked up land, man. It's all screwed up. So you talking about protecting that? So man, I definitely love that. You know what I'm saying? Like arm yourself. because you never know what's gonna go down at any moment. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
know, everybody needs training or whatnot. Everybody needs their training, but this whole notion of white people, you know what I'm saying? We black people all of a sudden fear white people now. And this ain't the first time I've heard this. I think I've talked about this before. This, you know, I think LeBron said, you know, every time we leave the house, we fear we're being hunted down. Uh,
I mean, honestly, you should that should never leave you if you're a black
uh,
man. So that should never
uh,
leave. That should never leave you if you're a black man. Honestly, that's how I
I
feel.
mean, I
That's
mean,
how I walk. That's how I walk out in the world every day.
yeah. Well, everybody's a target in some manner.
And
Everybody's a target in some manner because we're put into a position. We have a part to play in this stage play, so to say. If you feel what I'm saying.
yeah, and I don't want to just like where it's just like where I'm afraid of white people. I'm afraid of my own kind. And like I'm not even saying that to be like to be an alarmist or nothing like that. I'm dead ass. Like literally, I fear them as much as I fear my own because my own will kill me for less than what they will kill me for.
I want to
Honestly,
deal with the logic because it's a consistent and common narrative. And we're not even gonna talk about black on black crime and the statistics. I mean, we can do the fucking statistics and we can look. We know there's some shit going on, you know what I'm saying, in our communities, in the black communities and whatnot. But if we so afraid, then why the hell are we leaving the hood? Why are we leaving these black communities? You know what I'm saying? To go out there with the white folks where we feel that it's more comfortable at. If all of a sudden we're scared of them, we can't go out of the house. You know what I'm saying? We can't go out the house or whatnot. You know what I mean? It's backwards thinking. We're so tough, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, we're so damn tough. Maybe maybe you are scared because we so tough with each other. We talk crazy and talk, you know what I'm saying, insane, you know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers we'll go see each other. But then, you know what I'm saying? But you know, shit like this, now we're scared. We're playing the scared role, but we'll move away from where the hell we at to get, you know what I'm saying, to make some change. Whether it's we gonna bring it back or change ourselves, our situations or whatnot, we'll go out to these different places. I'm just bringing the logic. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with moving to the suburbs or anything out amongst white people. I'm just saying this whole scared attitude. We're scared.
now,
Like, nah, anything can happen,
mhm.
but we talking about you got to deal with probability and percentages. Probability and percentages. What you about to say?
Like all right, so how I view mine is like how I view my thought process is literally I come like my 29 years. I'm coming with logic and I'm not coming with emotion. You come. I'm going against people every day that will go with the emotion, male and female, over logic and anything else. They'll go with their first notion is to go with emotion. If I disrespect you in some sort of way, because I can offend a bunch of people just by talking. The first thing that you go to is your emotions. Oh, you think I'm a bitch, or you da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Or you think you're smarter than me? No, I'm just coming at you with something that's kind of that's logical. That I feel that everybody should be able to dissect and be able to come out with. You know what I'm saying? So we can be on the same level battlefield pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't work like that. But that's just me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
One thing I'm gonna say is if y'all out here playing y'all know like the scared white woman role, we're like, I was so scared and shit like that. If y'all trying to do that, if they trying to do that, just give me a wink. Just give me a wink. You know what I'm saying? Let me know so I can be on the same so I can be on the same page with y'all. You know what I'm saying? If y'all trying to get something out of this American system or whatnot, but it's just all this, you know, fear. And I've never seen Like people, I don't know any black people who are sincerely just scared of white people. You know what I'm saying? Um, uh, but yeah, I want to get into how we block ourselves. We block ourselves from moving the needle because you got a situation like got the situation. Don't bring it up. It's in the title. Shelley Luther. Shelley Luther down here in Dallas. Shelley Luther opened her business up. This is what we've been talking about as far as human rights and whatnot. Shelley Luther opened her business up and against Dallas's orders. I was actually contacting the judge and everything over this case because she got thrown in jail. She got thrown in jail because she opened her salon. She went to court about it. Was hit with 7 days in jail and a $7,000 fine, which means you put her even more in the hole and the possibility of catching, the whole coronavirus that they want everybody to avoid getting all over owning her own personal property. So, even I was contacted the judge because I'm like, man, that shit ain't right. I'm vocal about these different things because that shit affects black people too. If black people want to be able to make their independent moves without some outside force or some authoritative quote unquote force trying to influence, you know what I'm saying, or trying to shift how they move. And so yeah, see, there was backlash. There was some slight backlash from that, especially down here. But you got leaders, the Texas Attorney General, and the Texas Supreme Court ruled against the judge. This was a black judge also. So check the optics. And they let her out of jail. They let her out of jail, I think, today. Now, what a lot of people gonna say is it's white privilege. Yeah, possibly. It's white privilege, more than likely or not. But it affects us too. It affects our rights. You know what I'm saying? It affects how we're able to move and the things that we do. We got to have our human rights. So those are the different things that you got to fight with. But because we play this bipartisan type of game, because it was mainly like Republican types and things like that were advocating for Shelley Luther, whereas on the other side, then the Democratic people, they were against it. She deserved, and a lot of black people she deserved to be thrown in jail. And then you got vice versa with the Ahmaud Arbery situation. You got a vice versa. So we're playing this bipartisan game, and everybody's just playing follow the leader with their different sides instead of actually using logic and melding the situations. You know what I'm saying? So we can actually make progress. And we're just fucking ourselves. Look at what's going on in Detroit. Over in what's that? Was that Detroit? At the courthouse in Michigan, at the Michigan courthouse. Yeah. You got them. They're on the court steps, protesting their right to open or whatnot. But now you got this. You got the black woman. Is she a prosecutor, I believe? Prosecutor, and she's in there.
Nah, she was I think she was just a state rep.
State rep, yeah. I'm calling everybody then. I just say prosecutor, whatever, in the damn courthouse. But she said she don't feel safe. You know what I'm saying? She saw guys out there with swastika or whatever. You know what I'm saying? White supremacists, which I told y'all every single time they have these type of rallies, they label those guys as white supremacists. These white folks. They have knowledge. They've been taught. They had that different education to where they know their rights, where they don't filter those rights. They don't filter that information to black folks, so it's not commonly known. So we end up fighting against ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And screwing ourselves over in the end. And what she got is she got her a small little black militia group in hand to fight against that, which I'm all for. They had their guns and whatnot, but you got to understand, y'all fighting against somebody who's like you said, fighting against a cause that will benefit you. Mm-hmm. So we're being counterproductive whether we know it or not. And they're, like I said, they're using the media and using bipartisanship and all Trump supporter and those different trigger words to get people to go against that without people actually sitting there and thinking about that. What y'all got to say, man? Y'all got anything to say about that, man?
Go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, I think that you know, a lot of, I mean, it's power in words, and so media understands the role that they play in getting people to lean, one way or another. Uh, and, uh, like I read the article about the state rep, and it just sounded so silly.
Yeah,
Like, I think that's what was really driving me crazy, is that I was like, what are you talking about?
yeah,
Like, she was talking about, large, heavy white men. Uh, and I was like, why are you making this about race? Like, this is just a group of people, no matter what color they were. They were just a group of people that was like, we're not going to accept what you're giving to us.
yeah,
And therefore, we're going to protest it. Now, you could, one could say that they got, a bit too aggressive, not with the guns per se, but just with how close in contact they got, you know. But the point therein that lies is that, let's say that they were white supremacists. What does that have to do with anything about their protest?
right.
Let's say they did have, swastikas. Like, what does that have to do with their protest? And I think that that's very, very important to understand, because they didn't care.
It's like if you sit there, what if a white supremacist, and it more than likely be unlikely, but let's just say it because it's similar to that. If a white supremacist was fighting for Ahmaud Arbery and protesting for Ahmaud Arbery, would you sit there and be like, it'd be like, oh, they're white supremacists. You know what I'm saying? They go against and try to interrupt that protest.
Right,
It's similarly
right.
the same thing, because you're trying to get your right. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get justice and whatever. But like I said, a lot of people aren't. You know what I'm saying? Not just black people, but like I said, I'm trying to get in the heads that it's affecting them too. But Americans, you know what I'm saying? All Americans, it affects them. It affects them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's interesting, like with the lady in Texas, because my personal opinion, this is just my personal opinion. Let the people tell her that she just needs to stay close, because she don't have no clients. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the people say, yeah, my ends is looking real rough right now, but I'm not gonna
People's
be able to
decision.
make it in. Like, let them make the decision. If they want to go out and get their hair done because they want to be pretty inside the house, like, I mean, that's their prerogative. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
uh, it's not up to us as individuals to judge. Now we could say, "Oh, you went and got your hair done. Yeah, man, you can't come over here. I'm trying to protect everybody in my house."
Right.
Like, that's cool. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You have every right to say that. But you don't have a right to just be like, "Yeah, now you can't open your doors." If she got customers, you know, and she's saying, "Hey, I'm double gloving," you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Face
I'm
mask.
I'm cleaning after every client, like this, that, and the third. She's taking all the necessary precautions that she can. I mean, you don't, or you shouldn't. I mean, I'm not gonna say don't. You shouldn't have the right to come in and enforce something upon her as a entrepreneur trying to just make ends meet. You shouldn't be able to throw her in jail. You shouldn't be able to find her or anybody else. Like I said, I mean, I ain't been on you look at my face. I ain't been to my barber in quite some time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But that's my choice though. You know, that's my choice as an individual. If my barber like, hey man, if you want to come down to the shop, I'm open. and I want to go because I'm looking scrubby and I don't like looking scrubby, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And let's say, it's interesting because the Congress lady tried, or not the Congress lady, but one of the guys that was protecting her tried to say that if a black militant group or a group of black people would have went in and stormed the courthouse and did what the other guys did, that it would have been different. And
And
I'm like,
it
and I'm
would.
like, and
I
I'm
mean,
like,
that's the truth.
maybe, yeah,
That's the
I was gonna
truth.
say maybe there's some validation behind that, but you don't know that,
Yeah.
and that's number one. Number two, uh, if you, I know this sounds so crazy when people utter these words, but what are you willing to die for? Like, what are you truly willing to die for? Like, because if you're willing to die for your human rights, that's a death that's justified.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, it's a death that's justified. So, if they would have shot you because you stormed the courthouse, you had your piece on you and things of that nature, like,
It's for
had
the
that
cause.
happened, but you were, yeah, and I look, I get it, man. I get it. We all want to live to see another day, and I made the statement because I didn't know, in totality of the story of Ahmaud. Uh, I even made the statement. I said if there was a previous altercation, then Ahmaud just should have found somewhere else to run. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go to that neighborhood if you know that you know there's some people that don't want you there. Like, of course, we all have the right to go where we want to go, but people also have the right to tell you they don't want you there. And so, but I know that they want to use his record against him. You know what I'm saying? Because he had
Who
a
am
record
I?
of, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They. I can guarantee you now that the defense is going to use that against him, or at least attempt to.
You
You
know,
know,
even if he had, I don't care if he had, saying
no,
30,
no,
30 murders,
absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? I remember,
absolutely,
because I know somebody, a lot of times, and they talk about, he was a straight A student and stuff like that,
yeah,
like it don't
like
matter.
that means shit. You know what I'm
You got to
saying?
deal with the facts of the case
Yeah,
that you got right in front of you.
yeah.
They
Serial
can't
killers are
plead.
good neighbors.
Yeah, they won't be able to plead. They won't even be able to use self-defense. I believe because of the backlash, which everybody did a good job, but we need this for every fucking time because of the backlash and everything and the shit that could possibly happen if you don't get a guilty verdict. These guys are going down. And I knew that once I saw the video. Once the video was, like I said, it was leaked. It wasn't released. They're going down. It wasn't on. You can't do citizens arrest because it was on
And it
private.
was on.
It wasn't on private property. It wasn't in the act or anything like that. It was in the middle of the street, and you accosted them. You blocked them off, and they even said, man, the camera, the guy with the camera, man, is allegedly is a friend. Is a friend of him.
Of who?
Of the two murderers.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and so that's what's interesting because
That's something new. I didn't know
the original district attorney was friends with the father had worked for him,
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the guy that recorded the whole incident, he had worked for the second district attorney.
And we can't see if he's blocked in, boxed, you know what I'm saying, boxed in, or the other dude got a gun. So that may be a situation where he's just cornered, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean he wasn't. I think what was interesting, and I I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like in the heat of the moment, I don't know how I would respond, but he didn't start running in the opposite direction at all.
Yeah.
He didn't cause it's different if you shoot somebody in the back, like that's some big shit. He was trying to go, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he was he was hell bent on going forward. He wasn't going backwards. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? He was
So
hell bent on going forward.
so that puts a little in perspective also, because that could have been the dude behind him, could have been trailing and could have been threatening him also. Also, if you look, when they get on the video, it looks like he was getting the gun pointed at him early. And that's why he made and that's why he started making the move.
He tried to detour.
Because, and then if you see at that point when he made that when he made that move and the gun was getting pointed at him, if you see the person who was driving put their phone down and they swerved in the other lane.
Mm-hmm.
So they put them guns. It looked like they put them guns on him early. And he tried to go around the truck, and also, like I said, he didn't turn around and run. So I'm thinking that dude in that truck, and like I said, this is all allegedly, but just putting the other pieces within it.
You saying they had him boxed in?
Yeah, he had him boxed in, man, and he was trying to get away from this dude, and then you got these two cornering him. He's probably calling him like, "Hey, I'm trailing him down this street or whatnot," and he's cornered in, so he's trying to find a way out. Who knows? And it's a whole fight or flight. Fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? Response.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gotta. I mean, just look at how that happened. See, that happened 3 months ago, and it took them all this time to come out with this information. What you need to be attacking, instead of dealing with it on a low level and talking about all these two little racist hicks, that they're ignorant. What they did is no different than a nigga getting smoked over his cup, over, you know what I'm saying, over colors, you know what I'm saying, over, you know what I'm saying, or whatever block he's from, or what. Everybody's got a reason to why they do something. It's some type of necessity. We keep talking about everything has a damn need to why they do it. So what you got to deal with is, like you said, on the, you know what I'm saying, in the legislative level, or, you know what I'm saying, even you got to understand what you're fighting against, who are in authoritative or positions of power. See, the dude was able to get off on this, like I said, because he knows he had people in those high places, and he was a police officer also.
Yep.
And so that's what you're fighting against, and that's how racism, the system of racism works. So you got to fight it from that. You got to fight it from that standpoint. Sitting up there weren't talking about, oh, we gonna go shoot the first white person or go fight the hillbillies, and that's stupid. Because they're influenced in whatever way that they're influenced. You can't take a look into their brain. So you got to fight those positions of power. But seeing as how everything's been infiltrated in the matter that it's been infiltrated, this is where I'm going to bring the Shelley Luther situation and why people should focus on this shit, why that matters, but people don't give a fuck because she's a white lady. This affects y'all too. Why shit like that, and why you gotta have the rights to operate your business for, because you can't fucking trust you can't trust these people in positions of power. They don't have more jurisdiction over your life than you do. So you can't trust their asses. How many situations, how many different fucking things like this is it gonna take for everybody to understand this? You can't fucking trust them. Nothing would have ever happened if this video had not leaked within the manner that it did. Nothing would have happened.
Yep.
So you can't trust the fucking system, but you want people to shut down business. You'll advocate for somebody to shut down business. You'll go tell them when it's convenient for you. Black lady down here got a hair salon, was doing hair out their house, and somebody told on her, and then they sit up there posted online. The Dallas department, whatever it is, health department, posting talking about, we see you and you got this amount of time to take down. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Y'all trust this damn system, and you're not willing to take any y'all not willing to sacrifice anything or take that risk. What happened to, you know what I'm saying, stepping out on faith and things like that? Stepping out on faith for people who are believing, higher power and, spirituality, even religious folks. What happened to stuff like that? So you can't fucking trust the system. One more thing, did y'all see the one, it's the other name that's in the title, the Sean Reed one?
No, I missed that one.
Sean Reed one, the one that was on Facebook Live. And see, this is what I talk about. We got to fucking we got to use our brains and actually, if we're not gonna do our homework and actually examine these different situations, then you just got to shut the fuck up and don't comment on it, because then you'll go and sharing some shit and motherfucker. Now we'll get into the details of Sean Reed. Sean Reed was doing some bullshit. I didn't get what he was. He was on a police chase. He went on Facebook Live. Now a lot of people just saw the end of it, and they saw where he gets out the car. He's like, "Yo, somebody come get me! I'm on 62nd and whatever." And he sounds frantic. But what you need to see is the whole 25-minute Facebook Live, and you'll realize he'll get context into that frantic, you know what I'm saying, response when he's running out of the car at the end of the video. This dude was bumping his music, bumping that crazy, you know what I'm saying, bumping the music where they saying all the, you know what I'm saying, the nut shit. You know what I'm saying? Feeding that nut shit in niggas' minds. This nutty shit, bro. We got motherfucking people with mental problems, dog, in high positions. And that's how they are positioned so they can affect the youth. You know what I'm saying? And affect, you know what I'm saying, affect black folks. You know what I'm saying? And America in general. He's doing this, and, you know, like I said, he's laughing, rapping, talking shit, laughing, rapping, you know, they talking shit or whatnot. And he finally loses the cops. It's for people who haven't seen the whole video. He loses the cops, and then that's when once he loses them, he said it's a good place to get out and run and try to book it. When he books it, he's running, and the camera is still on him. He's holding it in his hand while he's running, and then you hear, sounds like a cop cut him off. It says, "Stop, freeze," or whatever. And the camera drops or whatnot, and it's kind of, and it's hard to tell what happens then. And then you hear a pop, pop, pop. You hear a taser, and then you hear a pop, 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 pop. Sounds like overkill. So what you got to deal with is the situation, and you know what I'm saying, the situation in each moment. He was fucked up for running. But are you gonna fight the rules? What is the law there? Does it say, because there's laws in certain places here in America, in many cities, to where if you run, the police can shoot you. They can legally shoot you. So are you gonna fight that law? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna attack that law specifically? Because yeah, he was running, but then it's hard to tell what took place when the camera. Did he tackle that police? Did he, you know what I'm saying? What was, you can hear the police after them. They're talking shit. Everybody's focused on the end because the cops were talking shit. Who gives a damn? People gonna talk shit. Yeah, they're out of line. They got positions of power, but they talking shit. Cops, these people obviously don't give a fuck about you. So why would they give a fuck about you and you acting a fool or whatever, and then they shoot you down? But also it sounds like they're trying to corroborate their story on, you know what I'm saying, on camera, and I don't even think they knew that the phone was on. So you can hear them. It sounds like they're trying to corroborate the story. What was you about to say?
I don't know if you hold on, my bad. I don't know if you paid attention, but literally I think it was one of the dispatch officers. She was like, "You guys are still live." In that video, really? She was like, "It's still live on Facebook." And then I don't know if you like paid went to the into the end where when the cop he strategically had his paper. He strategically had paper like this hot in his face, and then he clicked off the live.
Yeah, so, I did see that. So I didn't get to that part, but I think that was at the very, very end. Huh?
Yeah, that's at the very, very end.
Yeah, because I think I clicked off at about 30 seconds before it was about to end. But I watched all the 24 and a half minutes leading up to that point. So you asked me, police are fucking wrong. You can't shoot nobody when they fucking running, man. You can't shoot nobody when they fucking running. But like I said, these are things that you got to deal with on the legislative level. And are you willing to go out there and put the same energy into protesting and being proactive versus reactive and waiting until somebody loses their life to get these things changed, man? Y'all got anything y'all want to? expound on that?
Yeah, I'll start real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you first said the name, or whatever, I didn't know that was the topic that we were talking about. I thought that was somebody completely different. But yeah, I watched some of the video. I be honest with you, after he was bumping the music, and then he was like, "Yo, I got 3 of them behind me," and then he was like, "All right, 2 of them just fell off. One of them's just waiting until he's like, I think he's just waiting until I run out of gas, and then he's gonna come for me or whatever." And so I fast forwarded past that, and then when he got out the car, that's where I got it. That's where I stopped it or whatever. But he got out the car, started running, but literally, like, my dude was like, while he was in the car, he said, "Yo, I got 2,000. Somebody bail me out."
Yeah.
He literally said this shit. So honestly, I know this is gonna sound fucked up and whatever, but you're dealing with a sick individual. My nigga was like, "I can't go back to jail, but bail me out though. I got 2,000."
Yeah.
My nigga, what?
Yeah.
What sense does this make?
Yeah.
But
all over the
but
place.
I can't.
It make a lot of sense when you high as hell.
That is very true. That I didn't I didn't take that into equation, but that is very true, man. It's just like, hey, my heart goes out to the family or whatever, you know what I'm saying, the moms, but if you put yourself in these situations, the only
he put himself in a stupid situation.
The only person who should feel bad is your family.
But you know how people, and this is what I talk about, people got to operate and have both thoughts so you can operate, you can bring nuance to every situation. Most these emotional motherfuckers out here are going to say, well, the police, yeah, he put himself in a situation, but the police are wrong and whatnot. You're right. Well, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you. But they can both exist within the same space. That fool put himself in a crazy ass situation. This is like we talked about when we was talking about Scrape last week. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with the, you know what I'm saying? You got to deal with the person who, the offender or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatnot, person who was wronged. But at the same time, you got to make sure that you're preventing these situations, prevention. But we're just not in that mindset, man. We want to be reactive to everything and then have this victimhood mindset, man. Have this victimhood mindset. So it's got to get out of this shit, dude. You got to get out of this shit. You got to start. And this is where you know, this is why they kill masculinity. This is exactly why they killed masculinity. It wasn't for, you know what I'm saying, to make all the kids gay and whatever. You know, think it was to get masculinity out the way, out of both men and women, because masculinity brings logical thinking.
Go ahead,
logical thinking. They want everything to be an emotional response, so you don't even know how to move next. And then it's always, but what about this? And but we need, but if we do this, this is gonna happen. Like, are you trying to get free? Are you trying to get liberated? Or are you trying to stay in the same shit? This must not be that bad for y'all. It ain't that bad yet. It's gonna get worse. Y'all see how bad it's getting. If y'all don't realize how bad it is now, you got a government that dropped some shit on y'all, dropped the virus on y'all. You don't fucking get this? I don't give a damn about how dangerous it is. You need freedom to operate. You send them telling them to come out the house, do this. They say, put the mask on. Now you got motherfuckers in the media, Fauci and all of them, talking about now don't wear a mask. Put your left hand up. Put your right hand down. Put your left foot. Put it down. You know what I'm saying? Do everything they say. They're testing you. They are testing you. They drop this shit down. Y'all motherfuckers falling for the damn bait every damn time. Y'all better wake up. This shit is going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And y'all don't have the foresight to see where it's headed. Wake the fuck up, man. Wake the fuck up.
Go ahead, Lauren.
Nah, I mean, you started to take the words right out of my mouth. When you talked about, how masculinity, one of the characteristics of masculinity is logic, and how
it's not it's
It's
not
been a
exclusive. It's not exclusive to man and woman. You both can have it.
right, right. And that's why I said just a characteristic, and so uh, you don't have that logical person saying you might not want to do that shit. We say YOLO, YOLO.
Yeah,
YOLO can go both ways. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just doing me. You know what I'm saying? What does that mean? You know, uh, and so you take you could take any of these examples and apply it. You know, uh, with the last case, I was sitting there, and I ain't gonna lie, I had to fast forward because I was just confused. I'm like, what's wrong with little dude? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like that's what I was thinking as he's driving and talking and trying to figure out how to do shit with his phone, and I'm just like, man, what's wrong with him? And then he gets out of the vehicle, what I'm saying, to prepare to run because he thought that, he had positioned himself to get away. Uh, and it didn't happen. And you did hear multiple shots. I would say excessive shots.
Yes.
I've never truly understood personally, but this is just me. I've never truly understood personally why a cop has to shoot to kill. Now I could see if a guy is coming directly at you, but I mean when a guy is going away from you, why do why is it your why is it your necessity to uh, aim to kill? You know what I'm saying? If a dude is running away, can you shoot him in his leg so that he can stop running?
yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He might bleed a
Bean
little bit, but
bags.
he's not gonna die. And so that's always been something that's interesting to me. But um, I always go back to nothing changes until you change the law that protected, the negative behavior. You know, uh, I think about, I say this all the time, we need more attorneys of color. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're black, whether they're,
Brown.
Hispanic,
That's,
Latino,
yep.
we need more attorneys of color that are willing to fight for the human rights. Understand it's not about race, it's about human rights. Because at the end of the day, I mean, shit, we all fucking bleed red. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You know, but the human aspect of it is so super important because without the human aspect, you don't have the racial aspect. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the religious aspect. You don't
Hmm.
have any of that without the core, which is the human aspect of it. And
Yeah,
so I think, I think that goes unnoticed a lot. I think that goes unnoticed a lot. That let's let's tear it back. Let's break it down to its core. Because when you break it down to the core, is where you find a human aspect in it. But we're so supercharged on emotion, uh, which is good. You gotta have those people. You do. You have to have those people that are emotionally charged and are wanting to emotionally and vocally
yeah. When I say
get the people going. But
yeah, when I
but
say
but you
emotion, you gotta have emotion, but it's don't stick.
it,
You gotta be able to
it's
you gotta be able to convert that emotion into
was
practicality.
it's gotta be channeled emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's gotta be channeled emotion. And so uh you know how do we protect the next individual that's happening? That's the question that we have to ask. It's not gonna be by wearing t-shirts and going on jogs in neighborhoods that we don't reside in. Like that's not going to stop the next murder,
lot of these
of this capacity.
lot of these motherfuckers need to be jogging the next day. Do two and a half damn miles every motherfucking day too. Don't wait till a nigga get killed before you start jogging. Shit. Especially you got
So
this next, especially they talking about the next wave of corona. You better get your asses up and get to jogging every goddamn day.
he's
Put
so sick.
the goddamn Twinkies down and shit.
He's so sick. But nah, I mean, like I said, man, it's all disturbing. It's all disturbing, when people say, well, how many times have we heard this statement verbatim? We have a mental health crisis in America. How many times have we heard that shit? But are we really doing anything to fix it besides saying, go get them some medicine? That's what we say. We medicate the problem. We don't actually try to fix it. Yeah. We don't try to get to the root cause of it. We just try to medicate it in a lot of cases. There's a racial problem in America. Mm-hmm. Again, we try to fix it with medicine. But what happens every time? Because I was thinking about this when I heard this when the Ahmaud Arbery story came out. I said, it has been a really long time that I heard something that was racially charged again. It's been a while since you really had something that really popped up that racially charged the nation. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. And so sometimes it makes me think that, man, the media have been sitting on this story and just waiting for the right time to drop it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Waiting for the right time to drop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know what? We need to hit that race button again. Let's go ahead and drop the story out here. You know what I'm saying? Or we need to, I'd be interested to see when the next, mass shooting is going to come, and then we got to talk about, gun control and all that. Or, we're going to have to talk about, the rights of homosexuals or people that are not heterosexual. And it's just so odd to me that here we go again, I feel like. Yep. And I'm not saying that we were ever in a kumbaya stage where everybody was getting along, because it was far from that. But you just really didn't hear it. And so, the media is the devil, man. The media is the devil, man, and you really have to be careful in your dealings. I do want to say, I'll be remiss to say, if I don't say it, my true condolences do go out to his family. My true condolences go out to his family. But let's do the right thing, man. Let's do the right thing. And I'm not saying y'all doing the wrong thing, but let's actually try to see what type of real repair we can do with this. The marching is great. I believe in everything that everyone has done thus far. I do. I truly believe in it. But there has to be something done to fix it at its root. And that's what we got to look at. We can't look at this because this is not isolated. Like, people act like this is isolated. This is not isolated. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Are you kidding me? That's how y'all can create a list of names. You've seen the list of names and stuff.
The problem, what the problem with that, what you said is, the people know it's not isolated. They know themselves that situations like this aren't isolated, but they react the same time each time. It's like a chick whose man keeps beating them or keeps cheating on them, and every time she'll find out, or shit will happen, and whatever will go down, and then go back to being good, and then bam, and then shit happens again, and then now it's hell again, and you'll keep going back, bam, and it's like just a whole cycle of just insanity, same damn thing, trying to say the same damn thing and not getting any results on anything, and thinking that, shit's gonna change, and then getting mad. You getting mad when nothing's changed, but you haven't put together no type of groundwork to see change. You may get a response, they get a response to do whatever to, they do whatever to alleviate you, but it's not gonna change nothing. Not gonna change nothing. The motherfucker want to get at you, they gonna get at you. And like I said, this only got handled because the video came out. So they would have still
And
been
you and you know what the interesting part about that is the perpetrators leaked the video. Like they leaked it to try to protect themselves. Which leads me to believe that maybe something was getting ready to happen. I don't
So they
know.
did leak that the perpetrators did they leaked the video?
Or the ones that leaked the video.
Really?
And to try to prove that this was done out of self defense. Like they're gonna say, because you can see it in the video. What they're trying to say is that he fought us for the gun, so we had to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they're trying to say. They're not saying, oh yeah, we was waiting for it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, and again, this goes back to the logical thought, which is something that you brought up, Corey, which is how the hell they know where he was running? Yeah. Nobody ever asked that. Yeah. How the hell did they know where he was running? You know what I'm saying? Either he was being followed, you know what I'm saying? Like, but again, they had been watching him prior to this. Like, that's the only way to know where he was going. The only way is for this to have happened, not the confrontation part of it, but just them watching him from afar for whether it was, 2 or 3 days, whether it was, 2 or 3 weeks, whatever the case may be. Like he was being followed and didn't even know.
Well, either that, or they know they're gonna know the neighborhood, so they know he running that direction. So hit that back, cut him off at that point or something.
But not with everybody at the same spot. They were waiting for him, like multiple people were waiting for him.
Well, that was in the same car though. It wasn't multiple cars. It was the same car.
But that's my point though. You know what I'm saying? Like if they were so concerned that he may try to jet off in another direction, you would have figured they would have split up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody would have went at least on another block over. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure he didn't try to dart through some houses and shit like that because he was burglarizing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so but I'm not here to defend anybody. You know what I'm saying? I hope that the law, will handle what needs to be handled, but we need to handle going forward, that's the point that I'm trying to make is that, how do we tactically figure out how to avoid this again? And Corey, you and I, when we talked about it, I brought up the movie Glory Road when he was like, we ain't rolling, by ourselves. We got to roll in twos. You know what I'm saying? Put your knife in your sock. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds so silly. When you say it, you be like, damn, man, like, it sounds weird to run with a pistol or with a knife or whatever the case may be.
But we advocating for disarming people. You got people advocating for disarming people. That's why people looked at me crazy when I'm talking about why, like I said, why Kodak Black sitting in jail. Go to jail for a gun charge, man. You gotta have protection no matter what, man. Shall not be infringed. But like I said, people dealing off of fear, and felons shouldn't have guns, and it's always gonna be some type of necessity. Like I said, either you want freedom or not. You want to get out the system or not. But people gonna see over time. I think it's gonna get to a point to where it's so up. It's just so it's at their doorstep that they gonna have no choice but to, just like Ahmaud had to get out of that situation because he realized he had to make whatever move that he had to make. Like I said, possibly blocked off. It's gonna be like that. See what people see now is an escape. So they like, no, let's just stay in the house and government, go do what you do. get rid of guns, do this and that, do this and that, and all the media's got to do is attach Trump's name to it. And then all the other side, the people who are with Trump are the ones that are actually advocating for the stuff that'll or supposedly Trump supporters or whatever are the ones that are advocating for the shit that should have you free. But nah, you got that name to you, so no, that must be the wrong side. So,
Yeah, and that speaks a lot to this whole push for individuality.
Trump's a piece of shit too. You know, like I don't need to go, but not for the reasons that people think. I'm talking about, you talk about racist rhetoric and stuff like that. No, he's a Zionist. He's gonna he would be working with the bankers. You know what I'm saying? And he's a constitution breaker, just like everybody else. So.
I just want to say real quick before I let Lauren go. I did some research and watched a couple videos this week, and Donald Trump has been in the banker's back pocket for years, and he literally
stay in business.
And he literally said, like, it was during some meeting. He was like, he looked at all the bankers. He was like, yeah, I made a lot of you people rich in this room right now, and I'm looking at 6 of them. Yeah. I said, wait a minute. He said this on live TV, and I was like, oh shit. So you've been bankrupt multiple times, but the bankers was like, no, we can't. We need that. We need that publicity. We need that pow factor. You know what I'm saying? And he brings that. And they was like, no, go ahead, slide. Just keep making us money. And underneath everybody's noses, he's been making them millions.
Yep, there was Steve, and had Steve Mnuchin up there bringing the $1 trillion bill and everything, and the stimulus check. Steve Mnuchin with Goldman Sachs. So it's all laid out there for everybody. But like I said, just like this is why the title of it is the people that we're dealing with and the cognitive dissonance of America. We just been taught to poison ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We've been taught to poison ourselves, and we want the easy way out. We don't want the hard. We don't want to put in the groundwork. We don't want to do the hard shit. And yeah, man, we're shooting ourselves in the foot because we don't want to read. Main thing is we don't want to listen to each other. That's the main thing. We don't want to listen to each other. As soon as we say something that's not agreed with or something, ears turn off immediately.
And that's where I was going exactly right there, where the ability to listen has just been lost. Because here's the thing, like if you're a good listener, you are looking for your question to be answered, or you're listening for something that you can use to rebut. Basically, people will give it to you if you just take the time to listen. But we're so far beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the statement I made earlier, you know what I'm saying? I'm just doing me. I'm not like everybody else. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, as human beings, we are similar in nature, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of ways. So, but yeah, that's just a lost art, the ability to just shut the hell up and listen.
That's the main thing. That's probably the biggest thing that's going to lead to we're already here, but like I said, taking us even deeper down the rabbit hole. The inability to listen. So,
And so, I just, like I said, man, y'all have listened to us talk for a little bit now. And I just really encourage you to take a step back from the emotional side of it. Take a step back away from the pain, or either use that pain to do something that actually creates real change, real impact, instead of just crying, because trust me, we all feel the same way. I'm a black man. I understand what you say when you like, I'm nervous for my black son to walk out the house because I don't know what's going to happen. I feel you. but you don't know what's gonna happen. Like you just said it yourself, you don't know what's going to happen. So let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Let's create change that, you know, we don't have to live in that type of fear. There's always gonna be something that we're fearful of or about, you know. Uh, but we need to do the things so we don't have to live in this type of fear. You know, I want to live in the fear of how the hell am I gonna wake up and feed my family by my own measures? You know what I'm saying? Which means I got to go out and get it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm using that fear to fuel me to go out and push,
Yeah.
you know, to get the things that I need, you know, versus, you know, well, you know, if the government, you know, don't do nothing and I get laid off and I lose my job, I'm gonna lose my house and my lights ain't gonna be on and shit like that, you know. Uh like that's silly. You know what I'm saying? God gave you, you know, two hands, most of us 2 feet, you know what I'm saying? But one of the most important things he
Said
gave you the
most
goddamn
of us 2 feet.
most of us. but most importantly, he gave you a goddamn brain. And it's a lot more powerful than you think it is. So use it. Use your brain. You know what I'm saying? It's there for you to use. So fucking use that shit. And if you don't, hey, let me borrow the good part of your brain. I borrow it. I could always use a little bit extra. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, again, condolences to his family. It's time to rise up and do it the right way, though. It is. It's time to rise up and do it the right way. Let's go after the laws that would, you know, protect, you know, these guys from even thinking they could get away with doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the type of thing that we need to fight. You know what I'm saying? Make that shit the minority instead of, you know, the opposite. You know, like I said, we need more lawyers of color, you know, that will fight for the human rights of not just people that are the same color as them, but,
Mm-hmm.
you know, human rights in general.
You
You know what
got
I'm saying?
that they understand what human rights too is also,
Mm-hmm.
because even
Mm-hmm.
you talking about lawyer, they going off of what's going to be taught to them. It's like we talk about you got to have lawyers that's able to use their brain.
Talking
We just,
about we need some more Better Call Sauls.
we just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to have somebody that's got to be able to go outside of the what's on the law book and shit like, because they can have anything on the law. It's like you got to have
Well,
some
but
people
it's
speaking for you that's able to really,
but it's the ability to understand the law
yeah,
in its
understand the
true
law.
in its true meaning,
Yeah,
to understand how to circumvent it. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because, you know, there's always a way to penetrate. You gotta understand it all to figure out the way in. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
nobody just gonna open the door and be like, here, we're gonna open up the doors to change. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You know what I'm saying? You gotta figure out how you get in, whether it's going through the back door, whether it's climbing through the goddamn window, through the ventilation system, like whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's just gonna open the front door and be like, come on in. It's not
which
gonna
is
happen.
which is apparent throughout history, but for some reason these stupid motherfuckers think it is.
Yeah.
they,
And it's you and
they,
you know, I would tell you that, you know, those of us that really want to create the change that we truly need, you know, let's just look at I encourage everybody just look at their presentation. You know what I'm saying? Not saying your presentation is wrong. I'm not trying to say that. You know, but look at your presentation. See if there's, you know, maybe a little something you can tinker with to maybe reach some of those that may not quite understand what the hell it is that you're trying to get across. You know, and you can't dumb it down for them. You know what I'm saying? But you can find a way to maybe be a little bit more relatable if you can.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Put some pictures and colors with it. Right,
There you go.
put it in the song.
There you
Put
go.
it put it in a song, ABC book or some shit. Y'all got anything else? We dip out.
Only thing I got is everybody's not your enemy. Once we all learn to link up, no matter race, color, shape, size, shape or size, you know what I'm saying? We'll win. But the 1% will always stay the 1% unless we don't change.
Mm-hmm. They'll always be the 1%.
I'm just your
Never change.
I'm just your ignorant, eclectic mad genius. So I don't know nothing.
Man, Randy, I need your good hair. I need to go out here and affect some change. Let me borrow your good hair.
Man, other than that, man, we ain't got nothing else, man. R.I.P. Ahmaud Arbery. Rest in power. Rest in power. And let's keep fighting. Well, let's learn how to fight first. Let's learn how to fight, and like I said, let's be receptive to each other and just fucking listen. That's the main thing that's our downfall is listening. Listen to each other, and no matter how absurd the next person's ideas or whatever are, just listen, because you never know what'll come out of that. That's what close y'all minds off, and the second that you felt that you know everything and you start learning, you said that you stopped learning, that's the day that you're dying. Mm-hmm. You're basically dying. You're just ticking, you know what I'm saying, wasting time. So there's always something more to learn.
Yeah, because
other than that,
people have plenty of information. You just gotta listen. Take the time out, listen, man, and you could mess around and be the next what 1%, 5%, 10% of the entire world. But you just have to take that chance, take that leap of faith, and listen.
Nah, you'll never be the one. Not in this money system. You won't be the money. If you find a different currency, you will. But not in this money system. You won't be 1%. But you know, that's a whole nother one, right? Other than that, we'll holler at y'all later. Word on the Ave. Stay tuned. Got more for y'all. Peace.